So in the first video, I explained the concept and the installation of the Keyfix Non-combustible Cavity Tray system. But that's all theory. What you want to see is whether it actually works. Now the BBA test for this is 1/2 litre per metre per minute. But as I said to you before, Keyfix don't like to go for minimum standards, so they're going to put double the amount of water through this system. And what we should see is the water coming out of the weep vents, but more importantly, we should check whether it works at the back where it's never seen. Now doing that test with the wall open like this gives us the opportunity to check that everything is working behind the scenes under extreme conditions. If there's any kind of failure on anything, we'll find out. So let's give it a go. So now for the moment of truth. I feel like I'm launching a ship here. Now when did you ever see water coming out of weep vents like that before? The video where we showed the installation, you'll see that we buttered up these stop ends. Now that wasn't to make it waterproof. All that was there for was to slow the flow down so that it gets more chance to get out of the weep ends. It's not inundating it. So that seems to be working very well indeed. There's nothing untoward happening there. But of course we have got the secondary weep vents in on the joins here. And normally we wouldn't see any water coming out of there at all because that's just where those ribs are. That's the 4 ribs to be sure. But you can see there's nothing happening there. It's all being coped with. Even though we've got double the amount of water that they put on the BBA test, we still find that these weep vents are coping with that perfectly well. So when we come to the corner, we've got a weep vent very close to the corner there. But let's just block up a couple of these weep vents and see if we can inundate this. Remember, we get twice the amount of water that you would get under the BBA test, and what I hope to see is that the water has got up over those ribs, the dry ribs. This is a dry system, no sealants, no tapes, no mastics, nothing like that. We're still getting nothing out of here. All it's actually done is increase the water flow out of one of the other weep vents. So I can't imagine a situation where it's ever going to get out of there. And you can see just how much water there is coming out here now. That's all what we've flooded up behind. But even then, we're still not overcoming that system of those ribs and that channel. It's absolutely brilliant. So that is proof positive that the Keyfix non-combustible cavity tray system is working. What you can see here is the ribs, and if there was any kind of leak here, you would see it coming down onto this brick here. You would see those drips coming down, and you can see that is absolutely bone dried. So some of you may wonder what's going on with this water that's running down the wall. Well, once it's on the outside again, it's the same as any rainwater, and some of it could find its way back in through the brickwork, and the wind was blowing and there was enough of it, I suppose. But then again, it would just be caught by the next cavity tray down the building. So there's nothing wrong with seeing that. So you can see that in that worst case scenario, when I blocked up one of those weep vents, it came out the other one. And if you look here in this corner, you can see that that's why you must put a minimum of 2 weep vents on every corner. But you can see that even under that situation, double the amount of water, more than 1 hour, we're still getting absolutely no sign of any build-up of water in that cavity tray. Everything is working perfectly. So I think it's time to switch it off and call it a day. I call that a success.